These days, most of us don't give much thought about our electric provider, let alone how it came to be. Electric cooperatives have their very own unique story, and Osage Valley's extraordinary account starts in the late 1930s in a few counties located in west central Missouri, a place we all call home. America was recovering from the Depression, and rural towns were starting to come alive again. Most of the towns in our area had been enjoying electricity since the late 1800s or early 1900s. But nearly half a century later, our farms and countryside remained without power. Power companies said it was impractical and unprofitable to extend electric lines to the people living in the rural areas. They believed that rural people could not afford the cost involved in getting electricity to them. Household chores on the farm still involved iron stoves and ice boxes, while homes in town enjoyed electric stoves and refrigerators. Water was pumped by hand, as was milking the cows, and practically every other chore on the farm. Electricity could bring so many conveniences to the farm, and somehow these rural residents planned on seeing these lines built to their farms. On May 11, 1935, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the executive order creating the Rural Electrification Administration. This program brought electric lights and power to millions of Americans who were literally living in the dark. Because of these circumstances, a few far-sighted, dedicated, hard-working rural people of west central Missouri began working together for the purpose of providing electricity for themselves. The work fell to a handful of people who saw the potential and carried their message from farm to farm to get lights on a cooperative basis. On August 9, 1938, Osage Valley Electric Cooperative Association was incorporated. Once the word got out that a REA cooperative was being formed in the area, group meetings were held in area schoolhouses to explain the program and get these people to sign up for a $5 fee. The next step was to get out the county road maps and begin to plot the homes of the people who had signed up and design a general idea of the path of the proposed electric lines. The county agent's office in the basement of the Bates County Courthouse was the center for this activity. When a sufficient number of membership applications were received, they began to construct electric distribution lines to serve rural members in Bates, Cass, and Henry counties. The cooperative's first loan application to the Rural Electrification Administration was approved in February 1939, and Earl Westhoff was hired as the project superintendent. Construction of the first project was completed in May 1940, with about 177 members receiving electricity for the first time. By the end of 1940, 779 members now had electricity. With the coming of World War II in 1941, virtually all construction of new electric distribution lines was stopped because of the lack of sufficient line materials. False claims that electric cooperatives were hoarding copper wire during World War II brought cooperative leaders from different states together to defend themselves. As a result, in 1942, America's electric cooperatives formed the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association to provide a unified voice for cooperatives and to represent their interests in Washington, D.C. Osage Valley Electric Cooperative had to purchase electric power to furnish its members. Originally, wholesale power was purchased from the city of Butler, the city of Harrisonville, and the Missouri Public Service Company. After a hard-fought battle in Washington, D.C., cooperatives won the right to generate and transmit their own electricity. In 1948, Osage Valley entered into a contract to purchase all wholesale power from KMO Electric Cooperative, headquartered in Veneta, Oklahoma. KMO still supplies the wholesale power for Osage Valley. For the first few years, the cooperative was headquartered on the east side of the Butler Square. But in 1944, the Cooperative moved into new office space on North Main Street in Butler, just off the Butler Square. By the end of 1947, the co-op had 15 full-time employees and was managed by J.F. Louderback. In the fall of 1948, another move was made into new offices at the corner of Fort Scott and Highway 71 in Butler. The new office not only had room for all the employees, but had plenty of room to display the latest new electric appliances for the home and farm. Because the cooperative service area was growing rapidly in Henry County, it was necessary to establish an area office in Clinton. In 1950, office facilities were purchased at 1005 South Main Street in Clinton. This facility was the area office until 1978, when the Cooperative's Clinton office was moved into a new office and warehouse building just north of Highway 7 in the northwest part of Clinton at its present location. The 1950s saw big progress in reaching the goal to bring electricity to every home in our rural communities. While speaking at the 1959 annual meeting, manager Maurice Solomon reported the co-op was now maintaining 2,900 miles of distribution line to provide electric service to 7,300 members. The National Rural Electric Cooperative Association introduced Willie Wiredhand in 1951. Willie was often seen in publications to remind us of all the different ways modern electric appliances could make life easier. These appliances and devices made life so much easier that having electricity was like having a hired hand on the farm, according to Willie Wiredhand. Continued growth again led to the cooperative needing a larger headquarters. By 1960, the cooperative had 38 employees and needed room for a larger pole yard. They began constructing a new facility situated on 17 acres, located just north of Butler at the current office location. In January 1961, construction was completed on a new facility, and an open house was held in March. During the next decade, employment at the cooperative grew to 49 employees to take care of just over 10,000 members on 3,300 miles of distribution line. Computer billing came along in 1978, saving hours of time, but of course created its own set of new challenges. The 80s and 90s brought better trucks, tools, and added safety equipment for our linemen. As we entered the 21st century, members were finally able to throw away their meter books as AMR meters allowed Osage Valley to read meters from the office. Changing technology continues to bring new, innovative ways to enhance energy efficiency and monitor electric service quality. We continually gain new options for generating electricity and now have members that play a role in their own power generation. While many things have changed over the past 80 years, so many of our goals and challenges do remain the same. Our mission has always been to provide safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. Safety among our employees is paramount, and we work daily to implement a culture of safety and fulfill our commitment to our Zero Contacts initiative. We also strive to keep the message of electrical safety for members at the forefront. In an effort to improve reliability, Osage Valley has implemented an aggressive tree maintenance program of our rights-of-way, pole replacement program, SCADA, and many other important tools. All these tools working together have helped us achieve a much more reliable electric grid. In their continued effort to keep electricity affordable, your Board of Directors has worked diligently to build a progressive, long-range plan that balances finances with rates. The goal of the Board is to collect enough revenue to pay all liabilities and return capital credits to the members annually, along with maintaining competitive rates. This goal will not be lost, even as we continue to assess the ever-changing landscape of the electric utility industry and implement the best plan for our members. Rural electrification isn't something we did. It's something we're doing. co-ops across the country are developing the next generation of leaders in our community. We are leading the way in renewable energy and distributed energy resources, and we are building a smarter power grid. We strive to make life better for our members and our communities, and we are called to do it every day.